I will now have Councilmember Brown for an opening statement.
Thank you,
Kwame Brown. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Councilmember Thomas. Let me thank all the witnesses that are coming to testify. As I stated on the last hearing that we had, that it is time to move forward with some solutions so that we can move these projects forward in one way or another. After continuing to hear from all of the witnesses, one thing is very clear. We're here today because of poor leadership. We're here today because City Administrator Neil Albert, who was the Deputy Mayor for Planning and Economic Development, who testified that this was going to be cheaper, faster, and the most efficient path. We're here because we have a broken contract and procurement system, and we decided to use this path. The MOU that was signed had Mr. Neil Albert's name on it. The MOU that was modified had Deputy Mayor Santos' signature on it. The contract was signed by the Deputy Mayor for Planning and Economic Development. And the question becomes, how could we have leadership not give the type of oversight to such an important contract? The only reason why we're here is because of one contract. It's a multi-year contract that was awarded that did not come to the council for approval. And as that we found out this information, then there's been we get the contract and we see the fees in the contract and we have other issues with the contract. But I believe that whoever signed off on that contract should be held accountable. Someone has to take responsibility and accountability for us going through 4 hearings, subpoenaing witnesses, because the administrator or the deputy mayor's office did not pay attention as this particular contract was going forth. There's ample times that this could have been corrected. So when we look at it, you say, okay, do we blame the general contractors or the two-tier contractors for, you know, the work that they've done and what they're being paid? The question is, who allowed them to get paid that? Who decided that it was okay to charge 9%? Who decided that it was okay to charge a standard fee? And time has allowed us to do best practices, which I keep hearing that word. Well, we've done some best practices. Looking at and from the construction area, what does a project manager or a construction manager actually cost? And what are the fees and what do they normally charge? I don't know if I could blame that on the local business that signed on it. I blame it on the people who actually allowed them and approved it from the administrative side. How could they dare not be paying attention to what we all see as something that's not the most cost efficient, not the cheapest, only an easier way to circumvent the council of the District of Columbia? Mr. Thomas, you've done a phenomenal job. Councilmember Barry and Councilmember Che, but Councilmember Thomas, I haven't heard from the city administrator. I'm glad he's reached out to you and everyone else on the committee, but he hasn't reached out, and the responsibility lies at his feet. He started this process. He signed the MOU. The Deputy Mayor Santos signed the MOU. Someone approved the contract that is now in question. So while I am extremely disappointed in some of the processes, the question becomes, how do we move forward, and how is there some real accountability for those that have caused us to be in this situation where unemployment is 12%, but we're trying to help people keep their homes and make neighborhoods safe. While we're trying to fix education, we're dealing on the 4th hearing, subpoenaing people to come testify, because the people that are paid to do their job of oversight did not do it. And now we are here today questioning why. So with that being said, I would hope by the end of the day that we have some resolution to how we move forward on these parks and recreation centers here in the District of Columbia. Mr. Thomas, you and your staff, and let me say all the staff and the members that are here has done a phenomenal job, seeing though we have to subpoena documents and get information the way we have to do it in order to really come to some conclusions on how we move forward. So I look forward to listening to the public and the government witnesses that are here to testify, and let me thank the people that have that have come to testify, and those that haven't, I know that you have a process to get them back in here so we can protect the integrity of this body. Thank you, Mr. Thomas.
Thank you. Councilmember Michael Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I too want to